Kathy.
Just joined.
Hi, Rich.
Hey guys. It's flowing again, so I'll keep coming that way, but we'll probably be done by the time I get there. So.
That's fine. We do have some checks for you to sign, so whenever you get in town, just let me know. Hi, Bob.
Hello, David.
I got some checks. Okay, yeah, no problem.
You're coming in and out a little bit, Rich.
All right.
All right, we do have a quorum, and it's 4:32. Let me think. So we have Joe and we have Kathy here for the finance committee, so we can start that. I figure we'll just go through the budget as the committee, and then if there's any questions during the board meeting, we can do that. If not, just pass it as part of the board. So, the budget. Pull up on the screen here, so we can all take a look there. All right. At the very top, we have our 2021 forecast as where we are now in the 2021 total revenues. I anticipate that by the end of the year we'll be at 997,503. Expenditures, program management is that spent 31,750. That's half of the 63,500 we did in previous years. Metroplex does not charge the land bank administration fees, since the enterprise funding for program management ended as of the end of June, end of the second quarter. So the Metroplex has indicated that they do not plan on charging that fee for the remainder of the year, and that we should not feel inclined. We have to have a management fee going into 2022 unless additional resources come specifically resources that would take a lot more time and energy from our staff. A program management for Nick, who is overseeing all of our programs, just under $700 for the year. Bookkeeping and accounting, we're at $7,175. There was a slight increase this year in our audit fees for us going up a bit, and the increases in those costs. $1,500 we spent for the Land Bank Alliance, $3,300 on legal, insurance, miscellaneous $4,000 for total operating expenditures $54,612. Non-operating expenditures, what we spend on projects, we're to pay by the end of the year will be at $1,003,000. Total expenditures of $1,118,266. Showing that at the end of the year we've spent more than we've taken in, but that's because we've had grant resources as of last year that we still had in our hands that we've been spending down. You know, we still have resources with habitat projects and a few others. Any questions on the 2021 forecast? Right. So if we get into what the proposed budget for next year, you see that I'm putting in $250,000 for gain on property sales. We have the 110 Prospect, which we in 2022. We'll look to sell that. We also, as our agreement with Habitat for one of the properties on First Orchard, we will be resources on the sale of those properties, approximately $80,000 that goes from Habitat homeowners through their mortgage to be paid back to the land bank. That will go into the Schenectady account for future activity. Between those two, I think that's a fair assumption for revenue we'll get on those two properties. We do have some vacant lots, some other properties here and there. But I think that's plenty. The county has continued to allocate dollars for county activity. For revenues, 5,000. Again, as I said, Metroplex not looking for administrative fee at this point. Nick, we anticipate continuing to stay relatively busy using the Amsterdam funds to generate new activity. Hopefully that Legacy Cities project stuff, we stay busy on that. And then, you know, as we do every year, we keep money put aside for audits, being New York State Land Bank clients. If we take $1,500 this past year, we had 2,000 previous years, but without there being a conference, we had don't imagine any major legal expenses. And if there are, they're related to a project. Insurance, I anticipate going down as well, because of those two houses that will be sold, and the remaining insurance that we have is it's just on the operating expenditures, 2,000 overall. Carry that the next 5 years. I do anticipate that we'll continue to spend on project expenses, 200,000, 905 next year. That will include the Habitat doing the new home out in Rotterdam, the 749 Framer that we still own right now. And I do anticipate that we'll continue to spend our resources down on some flight removal here in Schenectady and some other projects, hopefully these projects here in Schenectady as well. For expenditures proposed for 22, 74,905, showing an excess for next year, as we do every year, because we don't have any other allocated funds that we're aware of at this point. Carried 5,000. Operating expenditures at the you know, relatively low level, and the rest we use on projects. Hopefully that will have other revenue sources that we identify. There's nothing that we're aware of right now. Any questions from the committee on the proposed budget?
I would take out all of this category. Some we haven't had for years.
So this is the format of the authority budget office.
Municipal subsidy grants. You get nothing.
It has not been a smooth process. The New York State Land Bank
I
Association.
understand what you're saying. Reading this is making the assumption that I've heard the assumption that money from that rather than coming out of the county. should go to, So I simply move the 5-year section on that. I can understand why.
Yep.
I don't have any other. Hearing no other comments, I'll move the approval from the committee.
Update you with the other committee member. Kathy, we can't hear you. I don't know.
Did you call for a vote?
Yeah, from the finance committee, Joe moved it.
Yeah.
You are the other individual on the finance committee.
Yeah, I'm having a little hard time hearing you folks, so I apologize.
We'll speak a little bit. Sorry about that.
Yes, so I vote yes.
Okay, thank you. Close the finance committee and we'll order. Rich, we'll call to order the board. Rich, you're on mute if you're talking. I know that you're in transit.
We may have lost Rich. I don't see him.
I know that he's coming this way. So
Say that for the record, otherwise you can have a fine.
Yeah, it so shows Rich is muted.
we'll just pause for a second because we need him here for a forum. Well, hey, with Rich getting back on here, maybe we'll just go through, I can just show everyone 2 pictures. Hey, you Rich? Let's just go through a few pictures, so everyone, just something Rich and I wanted to work on, just keep up to date where our projects are. Bob Martin, you driving by the Paul project in Amsterdam anytime recently?
I do. I go by often, and it just keeps getting better and better every day.
Yeah, we did want to share these pictures. Nick Bowsey's been keeping tabs on it.
Yeah.
The demolition went smooth. It actually didn't go smooth. There was a lot more work than I think they even knew that there was going to be, but they cleared the site successfully. Foundations are in, making good progress. Nick tells me it's just going to be a huge change to the neighborhood, beautiful site. So nice to see that progress that we're helped facilitate there in the East End neighborhood. Here in Schenectady, we've been working hard on 110 Prospect that we took to the city. We're doing this project in coordination with the city's affirmative action officer to help remove blight and train some folks in the construction industry. Something we all know is needed in today's high demand for workers. I've been inspecting the site regularly. The Seat Center has been contracted to provide a construction manager to help do some of our inspections. Been helpful for them to have him doing a little bit of work for us, and he's certainly showed his worth already, pointing out some of the code concerns and issues that we addressed before we get too far in front of everything. This is the first floor. They opened it up. This chimney, there was a chimney fire that we discovered. This chimney had been removed. They shored up some of the damage there. You'll see that they started to remove some of the front facade. It will have a whole new facade front to it to further improve the neighborhood. They're about 100% completed with the internal framing. Sheetrock has happened in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see that's the new internal staircase. This design follows what we did in 760 Eastern, which proved pretty popular with one smaller one-bedroom unit and then a larger family unit. Separate space if you do have some kids. The building's really laid itself up well for that. All new roof, slate roof, and it had the felt chimney within it, fully abated. We got to this project because we were originally going to be doing the building here on the right. Proved not to be the right fit, but we've been working with a developer, as you guys know, or the contractor. He has moved along in the second level on this property, and this is going to be another home ownership opportunity. I have a 2-for-1, and just wanted to show you that we're still progressive on there. Over at Lower State Street, we're currently underway with our abatement of the old Trailways building. I should go another week or so, and we're hoping to have the demolition done. We're waiting for National Grid, but hoping to have it done the 1st or 2nd of November. And then our second for Wallingford Park in Mount Pleasant. It was a Thriving Neighborhood Challenge grant. The contractor has progressed along nicely. At this day, this was last week, they had majority of the mechanical system installed. We made some other improvements to this one that we had not thought about on Eastern Avenue, a drainage pit, which the city was very excited about, other than having to blow out the whole system. So that is progressing nicely, and I know that Pat Smith, Neighborhood Association, is very happy that we're involved in this project. Just wanted to give you a little update of work that we've been doing. There've been a lot of approvals in the past few months, and wanted to show you that we've been putting it to good use and moving projects forward. So now that you're here, put up in person. Want to call the meeting to order?
Plan preparation board meeting for October 9th order. We have some minutes that were sent out. Can I get a motion to move for approval? Second.
I'll move.
Kathy,
Kathy?
all in favor indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you much. We have 2 items. Will you do the treasurer's report for the October meeting, Joe? I appreciate it. We're continuing to spend money. You can see from the report, we've got just over $1.5 million left in our accounts. Looking through, we've got, I'm assuming that we have everything pretty much drawn down with other city receivables. Yes, substantial receivable on that. So It's also wondering, at this point, we wait for whether or not we're gonna get any additional funding for next year. The legislature was be able to do things and hope to the president's passes any of the land banks. I move.
Anyone on the line? So it's just Joe and I here in the office, so I gotta get either top or that.
Aye.
I'll second, you got it?
Thank you all for everything by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, President, for the move. Chairman and Executive Director report. Now, we provided a little bit of flavor on kind of what's in flight right now. Thank you very much, David. As Joe just said, from a chairman's report, got about $1.5 million left allocated into next year with demos, habitats, and supporting actions throughout the city, county, and the city of Hampshire. Projects that are in flight right now. Mediating Gateway Park, where the Trailways bus stop. Continue life value, think momentum, or momentum in our communities. The 75,000 that placeholder, that's committed placeholder in the county of Schenectady, likely, we're not likely to increase at the end of the year by both the city and county commitment. I've asked the city for roughly what we show is asset value today, and I've got the county to matching whatever the city can do. So it's incumbent upon myself and David and leadership, board members, of course, to kind of ping the appropriate folks. Everyone is very, everyone recognizes that we have 10x on investments since inception throughout our host community, and we'll look to support. The tool works, it's proven, everyone's happy with that. That said, that's it for my chairman. More to report.
The one other thing that I want to make everyone aware of, other than the progress in our projects, is that really a good problem was created with the city of Amsterdam's bidding of their demolition round. They received a really strong bid, a few bids actually, but Bonds Contracting was the low bid. We had allocated $100,000 funding with the caveat that the city of Amsterdam would be spending $500,000 of their money to do the demolition. It was up to 13 buildings. Well, the bid came in under $500,000. So what the city would like to do is they're going to put a few more properties out to bid using remaining balance up to $500,000 they have and the $100,000 that we've allocated to their effort, and get more demolitions done. So right now we won't spend that money until they put that next round out to bid, which will probably be in 2022. But just wanted to make everyone aware of it.
We're going to keep on pushing. Reading a lot of other project activities.
You guys hearing us okay?
It's hard to hear, Rich.
Hold on. Yeah, we're coming out of this one. This isn't. Rich, do you want to come over here?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Let me just check one thing to make sure the audio is on the right. All right, let's
Oh, that's okay. Bob, I don't know if you heard any of the chairman's report.
I,
You're muted or,
I heard most of it.
okay, very good. I was just reinforcing what David just said as an ad, which is, that additional dollars in Amsterdam continues to take more momentum. Amsterdam is really starting to accelerate with not only demos, but now reinvestment, revitalization, and redevelopment activity. So I'm really more than pleased to see, that is really stuck and has taken hold. And I'm excited for what is next in terms of Amsterdam revitalization. Okay, so we have two items for consideration. One is our budget, and one is a Legacy City Access Agreement. Let's get through Resolution 2021-25, which is to approve the budget. Finance Committee just went through. I appreciate everyone's extra time on that earlier in the meeting.
anyone in detail. If there's any questions or to
And with the correction taken out, and here, so. We're not gonna put any money, that could be misleading to the public.
Other questions, comments, edits?
No.
No questions.
All right. Can I get one of the Finance Committee members to move it? I did. Oh, you did?
And there's a second, yes.
Okay, I just need a second. Thank you.
Second.
All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
nay. The budget for 2022 is approved and moved. Thank you, David. Thank you, Finance Committee. I appreciate the work put into it. I'll look for a nice amendment before end of the year or coming out of it in the early part of 2022. The second item for consideration tonight is 2021-26, which is a Legacy Cities access agreement. David, can you? outline?
So last month, we moved forward with an access and option agreement in Amsterdam. Reminder, the Legacy Cities is a new program that New York State put together with money that was allocated towards land banks. Last year's budget, $20 million. Is towards a program that had land bank facilitate development, renovation of 1 to 3 unit properties that the land bank has control of. It is a combination of construction financing with grant funding to make some of our most challenged buildings come back to life, make work for the development team is they focus on BIPOC developers, minority women-owned businesses, or other people of color, giving small developers the opportunity to cut their teeth, learn a little bit more about renovating these properties with the support of the land bank, there's an access team, the preservation corporation, the back end understanding of how to put together some of the steps that some smaller sometimes miss. So it's a unique program with the grant funding can be up to $90,000 a unit. It makes some energy efficiencies, I think 75 if they don't. The 5 to 10 properties, they're makeup of a project. Can't be under 5 properties, can't be more than 10. Should be in kind of a coordinated area. And so we went out and started trying to look at the properties we thought made the most sense. Amsterdam did a good job of coming up with 9 or 10 that have already been investigated. We've got a developer partner who's actively looking at, she feels would be the development costs to renovate this property. Here in Schenectady, we've done so much work in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood. We've identified, some properties that are very, very close to the Crane corridor that we worked on, it's been such, strong work on. For the, post project, still could be a strong opportunity. So I didn't mention this before. It's, construction financing, gap funding, for contractors, small developers to renovate properties, and then they are to be sold to homeowners. So there's a lot of different criteria we gotta kind of hit here. It took us a while, it actually took all land banks across, New York State, some time to pivot into looking up in the way we've been going with removal of blight, looking at some, large, meaningful projects or working with our local habitat, but I feel that properties will allow us a strong opportunity to pivot and do this, project here in Schenectady. We've, City of Schenectady expressed initial interest in supporting, providing these properties to us, for no cost, for nominal amount. It would have to be approved by, the city. I thought that we should just move forward, get our rules in place, and, if the city council, sees the value of this, which I'm sure they will, they very much appreciate everything that we've, done in the city. That they will, put these properties into an option agreement, and we can go in and start doing our due diligence. We do have some, development partners, that we feel that, could be good candidates, to work with us, that criteria is, forward. So, we've done initial, walkthroughs of properties or walk around the property. And with this, agreement in place, we can take it to the next level, and then start working with community preservation. Any questions?
Is there any income limitation on income families or is unrestricted?
I believe that there is, an income restriction. It's homeowners earning below 80% of the area median income will be prioritized. It doesn't say that they have to be.
It makes it more attractive, that's all. I feel.
And then it also says, in no event will homes utilizing the maximum subsidy be sold to homeowners earning more than 100% of their area median income. So there's a lot of great, brand new program. They're actively pushing. They want to show that, it's good.
Right. All right, so 90,000 a unit on that homeowner's income would exceed that. Income for the area. Is what I think of it.
But remember, the development is not end home. So these are taking the people who may have been flipping properties and trying to structure them more to not only get those properties back to homeowner, get them through the level of renovation that we want to see our project. So, the developer, there are no income restrictions.
But the homeowner,
Homeowner, yes.
in other words, you're gonna make an investment. I'm sorry, not before. The criteria, make an investment, get max grant on a unit. You're not then going to take that, leverage that into a house that average homeowner at 80% AMI can't afford anymore because you top graded it or you used a bunch of money on it. So invest wisely, do it and then make it marketable. AMI homeowners having a problem.
So any low income.
And these are targeted, in specific areas need, they understand, you want. So,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense from a AMI, and also I think you identified it. Go from flip, right, in a hot real estate market to the developer investor that turns it into someone else that's actually living in it, owning it,
absolutely.
not renting it.
Yeah, and the project, they did all the they've, they can go from the $75,000 of grant equity to 95 if they put it really good, efficient service, state financing electric sources now, get away from natural gas.
I see in this, and supporting resolution and supporting memo, is the Schenectady projects. I understand that Amsterdam is going through their, now to do the same thing. Yeah?
And they're a step ahead of us. They've already had the development team go in and do their inspections. So this is, did that last, this
Right.
week we're going into Schenectady.
Right.
And then, what will happen is that if potential development partners, properties that they, are redevelopment here, look at it, look, after they go in, they, the development costs, you have additional conversation with conservation corp. Then I would come back to the board, and, if the numbers are in the right way, we propose selling the property, making an application, like, we are part of the application. We propose selling these properties at the maximum amount we can to support the project and to, fully allocate the grant resources into the project.
Sure.
The developers have, they understand that, they understand where we're coming from here, so it's a unique opportunity.
The other thing that I'll add, David and I have already talked about it, doing this so much work so quickly. The second page, the first sentence refers to 928 Green Street, that's 928 Pleasant.
And I made that change to the record. Nobody Crane Street's on the mind.
Other questions? I appreciate all the extra explanation and support, and it is a unique opportunity to perform it in from Land Bank Association, as well as identifying the fact that this is something that can continue dollars in the direction that regulators are going and was trying to revitalize and put our neighborhoods back up. Other questions from board members? Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Kathy, all those in favor indicate by saying aye, opposed nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. And consider tonight, any old business to discuss? Any old business? Okay, a new business item from Joe.
Right, get up, I will, that we send a letter of appreciation to, the Metroplex, board, and their executive director for, in this trying times financial, to carry the land bank until we get additional funding. Our appreciation for their recognition of what we're doing is appropriate at this point, and that we should accommodate this.
Okay, as the chairman, I would be happy to draft that letter and from board members, and that's a great suggestion. I'm sure I can. Okay, very good, thank you. I think that's an excellent suggestion, and I appreciate the sensitivity. And I concur with that. That's.
I think we also appreciate the services. I think it's one of their staff members, executive director, because he has done a sterling job.
It's not overboard. Completely concur.
It's excellent operation. And that operate.
Well said, and 100%.
Went to one of the Mount Pleasant, open meetings the other day, and, they certainly, value what we've been doing.
Other item I want to say is that we are now on our finance director at Metroplex.
Yep.
So since everything is moving along a smooth transition with the finance director, the reports that I'm getting very percent century and very, just like the knows for this new finance director.
Lori Behrens is retiring effective the end of the month. And Tanya, her last name. Tanya has started, she's very, very pleasant and, doing, bookkeeping and has actually done, like what staff does here, to develop work in the North Country. So, Tanya,
I had a chance to meet her about
Great ad. That's a great transition. I agree with what you just said, Joe, which is, it's on. Right, output, spend the money and, keep on rolling. Any other new business items before we adjourn? All right, very good, everyone. I appreciate everyone's participation, in the October board meeting. Thank you so much. Glad we had a forum to pull this off. See you again in November. Hopefully we'll be in person. Thank you both for attending.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
See ya.